The thing I love most about historical strategy games is finding those little known regions with some historical context and turning them into global superpowers. And today we have a viewer submitted save file who was trying to accomplish exactly that. If you didn't know, I do a series on my channel where you guys send me your disastrous Crusader Kings 3 save files. I play through them, fix them up, and even send them back to you so you can mess them up all over again. This submission is from someone who goes by Pyro Book. They write, starting as the Solomonic dynasty, they converted to Judaism with the goal of returning Ethiopia to its Aksumite roots. Then, in a tale as old as time, a few jealous neighbors teamed up against them and declared a holy war for Ethiopia with a force of 20,000 men. After losing a couple battles and amassing a rather large debt, Pyro saw no other option but to send me their save file. So let's get into the game and see if we can bring his Jewish Ethiopian kingdom back from the brink of defeat and turn it into the flourishing empire it deserves to be. I have to say, I have a bit of a soft spot for Jewish Ethiopian games. A while ago now, I played a game which I think is probably one of the hardest starts in Crusader Kings 3 as this small Jewish count who actually is the vassal of a duke who has a different religion than them, and that duke is actually the vassal of a king with that same religion. And by the end of the series, we actually ended up invading Israel and creating the true Jewish kingdom of Israel. But in our friend's Jewish Ethiopian game, he is currently suffering. I've probably played disaster save files that were worse, in a worse position than this, but man, this is pretty dire. We are currently losing a war minus 64% against an army with 3 times as many men we have. We just got spanked in a battle and had to retreat, which means they can currently capture our capital. And not only that, but they've actually surrounded the capital with units, meaning we wouldn't be able to break into this hill terrain where we would get defensive bonuses because we'd have to fight these guys standing on these tiles, which makes them defenders, which is actually kind of a big brain play coming from the AI here.
Who told you that?
I'm shocked the computer actually knows how to do that. On top of that, we're in a bunch of debt, losing 5 gold per month from having our army raised, and we have pretty much no alliances that can help us. We have one ally here who is in our realm, so we can't even call him to war. If we wanted to set up marriages with some of our daughters for alliance power, we can ally ourselves to some Indian some Indian realms, but they are literally miles away from us. So I will still set this up for now and maybe pick another one of my daughters, but they won't be coming into this war anytime soon, with how far they are away from us. I have to say, you did a pretty good job of taking a lot of land. You've also converted it mainly to your culture and religion to stop like populist factions and things like that from rising up, which is really good. But I am quite disappointed in the quality of your land. Like, you have one tier 2 castle in your capital, but the buildings aren't even fully upgraded. You should really try to always keep your buildings as upgraded as possible. And I think because you haven't really focused on your buildings, that just means you lack gold this entire game, which we can see by you being in debt, but also the fact that you have a very weak men-at-arms army.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
The most regiments you have is 5, and that's on your onagers, which, by the way, you could actually pick up mangonels, which would have been really helpful in this war if we had a better siege unit to use. Like, you should at least be having stacks of like 6 or 7 size men-at-arms regiments at this point in the game. It has been 230 years since the 1066 start date, so I think really it's been your lack of economic development that has hurt you because you weren't able to upgrade your military accordingly, and now you're getting invaded by some pretty strong regions at that. But before we go around start improving our land, we need to win this war, because if we lose this holy war, we're going to lose our entire kingdom of Abyssinia, which is where all our land is. There are a few things right off the bat that we can do that will help us in the war. First of all, we can pick up a marshal and put him on trained commanders. I think this is the best focus for your marshal. Not only does it increase your knight effectiveness by up to a percentage equal to your marshal's skill, but it also increases your men-at-arms damage and toughness by that same percentage. On top of that, if we look at the army here, I am the commander with 29 skill, which is pretty decent. If we put our wife on chivalry, that'll actually bump us up to 33, and then if I go over here, pick up, let's say, true ruler, and switch over to a chivalry focus, we are now going to be a rank 38 commander, which is actually pretty amazing. Because the only way we're going to be able to win battles against armies that are more than twice as big as us is to get that battle advantage modifier as high as we can possibly make it. So the next thing we have to deal with is this debt, because if you go into a battle while in debt, you do lose a decent amount of that battle advantage multiplier. And the way we're going to do this is actually because of the tours and tournaments, DLC, and update, we can actually destroy some of our artifacts that we're not using here in order to get money. So this hopefully will bring us up to just net positive in terms of gold outcome, in terms of gold output. And we will retool some of the things here. Like you have this amazing ring, which we're not using, that actually reduces our men-at-arms maintenance by 8%, which is pretty big considering we're losing most of our money from having raised armies. And just like that, we brought our gold up to 163, meaning we are no longer in debt. Let's also remember to raise our army. If you ever lose a battle like decisively, don't forget to put a rally point down and re-raise another army, because that will get an army with all your knights. You can see we actually have 9 knights that we were missing out from this big army here, and 9 knights could make a huge difference. Okay, so we got our army over here. It's all merged. We got all their nice 15 knights there. I'm going to march them all the way down to their capital, because if they take our capital right now, we probably would go to -100 and straight up lose the war. The only way we can stop that from happening is if we take their capital first. The good thing is we have some really strong walls in the capital, so you can see it takes them a long time to capture it. So we will get their capital first. Oh, no way!
Gotcha.
Man, that is crazy. So we actually captured their king here, which brings our war score up to 100%. I have to say, that's kind of disappointing. Like, that's too easy almost. I had this whole plan of how I was going to defeat these guys, even though we were way outnumbered. Okay guys, I think I'm going to do something crazy. I really wanted to show you how you can still win a war in a situation like this with only, with less than half as many men as your enemies, with like a pretty weak army. It all comes down to battle tactics. And in order to show that, I think I'm just going to ransom this king here. So there you go, we freed the king from our grasps. And now we go all the way back to -31. But you can see that is actually pretty decent considering we were at -60 before. And we can go back to trying to win this war the good old-fashioned way by destroying the rest of the enemy. You can see they will be losing supplies from sanding in all these tiles, and that's pretty huge. Like the second they start dying from lack of supplies, we'll have a lot better chance of beating them. And I'm going to make sure that my armies keep their supplies high. So we're going to make sure to split them here and let our allies come in. Actually, they finally made it all the way from India. Okay, so they took our capital, brings us to -50 in the war score, but that's not that bad. I really wanted to get into a battle with these guys, but I need to do it on my terms. If we can do it with defensive terrain, I think we'd win. But if we attack them when they have defensive terrain, there's no way we would win the battle. Okay, here we go. So they're running on this tile, but I'm going to get there first, so that means we get defending in hills. We have this beta Israeli culture, which Pyro Book had made, and that actually gives us a further 5% advantage when fighting in hills. So this is going to be pretty big, and it should turn this battle into our favor. And there you go, guys. So we fought 14k against 14k there, but we killed way more men than they killed of ours, and then a few other guys jumped in here and died. I won't use this time here to retake my capital. The walls are just too high, and we don't have strong enough siege weapons where it would just take forever. They would be able to build their strength and come back and attack us again. Instead, I'm going to try to destroy this army. Just like that, get a nice stack wipe on them, keep them weak, and stop them from retaking their capital back. So they're invading us in the north here, but that's a big mistake because, again, anytime they try to invade one of our castles, if we attack them on that castle, we get defender advantage and we can turn them away another time. You gotta be a little bit vigilant because the second you let them like start building their strength back, it's not really gonna end well for you. Okay, so we turned the war score positive. They actually have a kid in charge now. I guess that guy died that we had captured before. And we're doing a pretty good job. They only have 8k men now. So I'm thinking maybe it's a good time for us to retake the capital. It will take a while for that to go through. And we are starting to go into debt now, which is not good. But I think they are in a worse debt than us. Yeah, they're at negative 300 gold. And they're losing more gold per month than us, so we should at least always have a better advantage modifier than them that way. If you ever really need to win a war, I highly suggest going down martial, picking up chivalry, and then going down the first 3 tiers in the gallant tree. Stalwart leader doesn't really do much, gives you a little bit more prowess, so it makes you a better fighter in your army, but chivalric dominance is huge. It gives you 75% knight effectiveness, and knights are insanely powerful in battles. You can see we already have our knights up to 319%. So I just stack wiped 2 pretty big armies there, 2k, 4k, bringing us up to 80%. We also captured the capital back, which helps that. And now we just need to keep beating them, but also start taking back more land, and we should hit 100% pretty soon. And there you go, guys. We hit 100% and we have beaten off this war. So in order to consider this file saved, well, first of all, we had to defend against that war, obviously. Next, we're going to need to really raise our military strength and our gold income. If you look around at some of these areas, like, we have some very strong neighbors. And that just goes to show that I don't think you were making enough money this game, because you just weren't able to snowball your strength enough to keep up with all these guys. Like, some of these kingdoms over here have like 17,000 men, while we only have 7,000. We need to gain enough strength so that if these guys come attack us, we can easily defend against it. And the way we're going to do that is by investing into our buildings. You had some really amazing buildings that you could have built that you hadn't, such as the Grand Temple down here, which is really powerful. Since we are so late into the game, we're actually in the late medieval era, we have access to windmills, we almost have guilds, and these let us build some insanely powerful buildings such as these windmills and water mills. So we're going to get to work on some of these for sure. I think in the capital, it's probably a good idea to go for the windmills. That will really help get our gold income up. And then over here in this other place where we could build the Grand Temple down the line, I'm going to go for a watermill, so that's going to reduce the building construction cost by 5% there. There are a few things I'm a little bit disappointed. Mainly, we have a chateau here, and I have no idea why you would make this. Sure, it makes your hostile scheme success chance go up by a little bit, but like, is it really worth it? Control, we already have a lot of control. Prestige stress loss maybe could be useful, but I'm thinking we're going to have to change this in order to get something a little bit more helpful. Like, even picking up another military academy would be pretty powerful. That's what you have in your capital, which I really like. Instead, we might have to go for a certain type of men-at-arms unit and then restation all of these guys who actually were not stationed already, which is, you're just throwing away damage that you could be getting on those units. So now that we actually won that war, I'm going to switch off of warlike court and go instead to an administrative court. You can always change this back if you don't like it, but it's going to help us a lot to get our building construction time and building construction cost down in this region. It'll also help us with, if we can get it to level 7, with 0.2 development growth in the capital. What I should do is just upgrade some of this stuff. It's going to cost us a decent amount more money, but it will let us go to just above 7, where we can start earning a decent amount of development growth in the capital. I love when the Holy Order starts expanding. Look at this, we can give them this city all the way up there, and in exchange they give us 400 gold. How do you like that? Also, I am done in the military tree, so I'm instead going to go for a domain focus, and I'm going to pick up cunning cornerstones, professional workforce, and centralization to get our development and our building construction costs and time down even further, because right now we need to upgrade our buildings and we need to do it quick. Oh yeah, I think also, I don't know why I didn't do this right away in the game, but our Jewish faith here actually has lay clergy. So what we can do is go around to some of these temples and just revoke them. If I go to tier 2 crown authority, like the one in the capital is going to be really valuable for us. Let's revoke that. Yoink. That's 4 gold we're making out of that one. And then There's another temple over here, or this one over here actually makes even more money. We can just revoke this. And just like that, we went to 6 of 6 holdings. We're going to get our troop totals increasing from that, and we go all the way to 16 gold per month. I definitely should have done that. That was something I had on my list that I was supposed to do, but I completely forgot about it. But I guess it didn't really matter. We won the war anyway. I have a Liberty faction that's forming here. I could reduce our crown authority. Instead of doing that, I think I'll just marry him to one of my daughters. That way we can have an ally, a vassal, a really strong vassal who's our ally, and then we shouldn't have to worry about factions after that. So I'm beginning to retool the men-at-arms here. I picked up some mangonels. I'm going to pick up some crossbowmen because these guys are insanely powerful, especially in hills where we already have a lot of benefits. So we can put them actually in the in this temple here where I'm building some militia camps to boost their damage even further. So I picked up these 3 perks in architect. So I'm going to switch over to learning now because I want to get our learning skill up in order to increase our chance of getting primogenitor. If we can pick this up before a character dies, which is kind of unlikely, we could actually solve all our succession problems, because right now we will have our land splitting, you know, which is not good, not the best, but I think we still would be able to wrestle it back from our brother if this does happen. Yeah, I definitely don't think we're gonna pick up primogenitor. Our character is getting some health debuffs by the second here. Not looking good. And there you go, we died. So we lost this duchy here. Could we revoke it from our brother? He almost would accept that, actually. If we could get this chance up higher, we could just revoke that land from him. And that would be a pretty solid way of getting all our titles back. I want to try to find a wife here who has inheritable traits, but also decent stewardship. Not too many good options, honestly. Well, I guess something we could do is marry one lady for her stewardship ability, make her our primary spouse. And if we put her on managed domain, you can see that bumps our domains up a lot. And then with the next one, we can do traits, inheritable, you know, and try to find somebody who has some good traits for us so we can hopefully pass it off to our kids. I'm going to try revoking this land from our brother. We have a 53% chance. I guess what I could do first is send him a gift. It's going to cost a lot of money, but let's see if he's now going to accept. 75% chance. Hopefully he accepts this.
You've got mail.
There you go. Now we can actually hold if we revoke this last temple away from that guy, which makes 5 gold. That's huge. It's so funny, like these temples, I realized, because the person who sent me this disaster save wasn't holding these temples personally, and they are like really nicely upgraded. They make way more gold than the castles, which really shouldn't be the case, but I won't complain because we can just revoke those temples, and now we're making 33 gold per month with 8 domains. Also bringing our military up to 8.3 thousand, and with 300 gold now, we can really start upgrading our men-at-arms here. I'm going to pick up more crossbowmen, more mangonels, more camel riders as well. And you know what? So you get some more crossbowmen. These guys are just very, very strong, and they're really easy to boost their strength as well. So I'm saving up here to get 800 gold to build the Grand Temple over here. I'm also upgrading my water mills building just to give us a little bit more of a discount, bringing it to 750 actually, which we just hit. And oh, they want another city, eh? Oh yeah, you guys can take that one. So now we went all the way up to 2,000 gold from that. We can build the Grand Temple. It only takes 18 months to make, and it's going to get us 2 tax. A bunch of, this whole county is going to get holding tax bonus, which means that this temple is going to become really valuable for us. I think I am going to swap the leisure palaces here, the chateau building, for instead, honestly, we could go a little crazy and go for the jousting ground and then build those heavy cavalry, because it will boost the heavy cavalry damage. And then even if they aren't so good in hills, I don't plan on fighting in hills the whole time. Right now that we're kind of getting strong, I won't really be defending as much. Instead, we will need to start attacking into Nubia, which has a lot of floodplains and such. So I think actually that probably will be a good idea. I will pick up some armored horsemen here. 3 regiments for now, and we can station them in Axum because we're gonna have the stable building there soon enough. Man, the Nubians, who are actually being ruled by a Coptic Greek guy right now, actually have 20,000 men. That is pretty crazy. But now that I'm starting to focus on my men-at-arms with all our gold, I think we should be able to absolutely wipe the floor with them once we're optimized and ready to go. Oh, okay guys, and here you go. Our Grand Temple was created down here. Very, very nice. We're now making 7.2 gold out of that land. We can also build the windmill in here now to make even more gold. Also to boost the development, because I'm pretty sure this gives me a development growth boost, and it does. And then I will continue to upgrade the gold buildings in this temple in the same county because it's getting boosted by 20% as well. Alright guys, we just went above 10k troops. I'm going to keep upgrading our men, maybe pick up another regiment unit of armored horsemen, because you can see they're getting pretty strong, our armored horsemen, plus 60 damage right now. Our archers are are doing over 100 damage now from being stationed over here, and since I went to tier 3 temple, I can actually upgrade these militia camps even further. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So we were talking about the Nubians, how we're going to have to destroy them eventually, and look at this, they have decided to declare war on us for this county down here. It's a little bit concerning how they have 24,000 men while we only have 10k, but we have pretty decent men-at-arms of our own here, so I am very interested to see if we can win this battle without any help. So again, what I'm going to do here is try to make myself the commander because I'm pretty good. I don't think I'll go marshal though. I might be okay if I just put my wife on chivalry, so this should be okay. You can see with my whole army raised, we're making 5 gold per month, which is one of our goals at the beginning of this game. And so now we have 30 martial ability. I think we actually can hire our holy order here, merge them together, and now we have an army of 17,000 men with 22 knights. And how many do they have? They have 24k. So I think honestly, if I attack them on this tile here, where again we have defensive bonuses, we have hill terrain, we should have no problem winning against all these guys. And you can see they can tell that actually because they're running away into their own territory, so they can have the defender advantage. Okay, here's perfect. Our supplies are running low, which is a bit of a bummer, but we're gonna get defending in hills, defending in mountains. And you can see we killed 8.5 thousand men in that battle. Our army isn't fully maxed out in terms of our bonuses, but already we are doing pretty well. Okay, and they're gonna attack us here for some reason, because again, we're gonna get amazing defending bonuses. It's annoying how I'm not the commander, like I split my army so it chose the other guy as the commander. I guess that's fine, because we're still gonna end up winning here. And you can see some of our units are doing insane damage. What the fuck? Sorry, what? That has to be a glitch. There ain't no way our crossbowmen are doing 4,000 damage. And there you go, we won a battle. We were greatly outfavored again. And you know what? I didn't build 70 trebuchets for nothing. Let's run in here where they have a pretty high defensive castle and see if we can take it before they are able to come back. Should be pretty quick. Yeah, 4 months to take down this castle is very, very nice. Okay, huge. We were able to win that battle before they jumped in here. And there you go. So we were able to capture that land before they jumped into that battle, meaning we get another huge victory and we actually go to 100% so we can enforce our demands, and they're going to pay us 500 gold for losing that war against us, which is absolutely huge. But before we do anything else, what I should definitely do is spend all this beautiful money we have on upgrading all of our buildings around our territory. Oh my goodness, guys. So we just fought off a war against 24,000 men, and now you're telling me we have to fight off against 30,000? Really have no time to breathe here. It's this big Yemen. Wait, what? It's not even the king. It's this guy's vassal who's actually declaring war on us. That is not good. But hopefully with the defender advantages like we showed in the last battle, we'll be able to fight these guys off as well. pretty decent. Okay, we're going to attack them on hills here, which should guarantee another victory. Up to 55% already in the war score. And there you go. 100%. They're going to give us 1,800 gold. Oh my goodness.
Money.
These are like just amazing wars for us. They're so easy to fight off. We can put that gold right into our men-at-arms. Let's upgrade our heavy cavalry to 500. I think we should just continue to upgrade our crossbowmen, like maybe max them out even, because they're so strong for us right now. And I think other than that, let's get our heavy infantry up. I guess we can get more camels too. And I probably should upgrade this barracks building to keep our heavy infantry nice and strong. I unlocked Primogenitor a while back. I'm going to change our partition law here. But first I have to go to High Crown Authority, but that just costs a little bit of prestige, and we have a ton of prestige. So now we can go to Primogenitor, which means on our death, our son over here is going to inherit all our land, and that is quite nice because we're educating him. He can go on a learning focus, so no more succession problems. Our military is looking quite beefy. I think we're almost ready to declare war on Nubia, then Damat. And we will have defeated the original enemies of this game. I think we have maxed out our army quite enough. We have almost size 14 all of our regiments of men-at-arms. We're still making 50 gold per month also, which is quite decent. And I think we might as well drop a holy war for our original enemies, the Nubians and the Damat kingdom, which I think our vassal actually, one of our vassals actually was able to wrestle his county away from the Damat kingdom, which is pretty funny. So let's launch this holy war. They have a total strength of 26,000 men. We have less at 17, but I think we all know that my 17,000 men are extremely powerful. So powerful, in fact, that I think what I'm going to do here is just raise my men-at-arms and see if we can beat them with an army of 8,000 extremely beefy men-at-arms units here.
Rattle 'em, boys!
And look how fast we take land when we have 140 siege weapons. It is absolutely lovely.
Stop! You violated the law.
So there you go, guys. 8k versus 33k. They must have hired like mercenaries or something to a holy order. I forgot we have our own holy order. I should have added in here. Thanks for reminding me. But yeah, so even with their 33,000 men, we absolutely destroyed them. We lost less than 1,000 while killing 11,000 of their men. And we weren't even in favorable terrain. We actually didn't capture that castle yet. So that's pretty funny. And there you have it, guys. Like 3 easy battles, a couple of territories taken, and we have won the Kingdom Holy War here. Oh my goodness, guys, look how nice our kingdom is looking after we took all of Nubia for ourselves. I think next what I should do is probably a holy war against the these Yemen guys, because they were so mean to us before by trying to invade. We should take our revenge on them too, and also the Kingdom of Damat, because they were the original guys who wanted to fight us in the first place. But before we do that, I'll just redistribute my land over here. Okay, so we granted those away. Let's declare war against this kingdom now for the duchy. Really shatter these guys. They're pretty weak, so this will be an easy one, I would assume. There you go. We have some Nubian peasants who are going to rise up against us, but that'll be very easy to put down. Doesn't matter how many men there are. And I think it is probably time to declare war on Yemen here. We can take their big duchy down here, and I think that might give us just enough land, or we might be 1 county short to be able to create our beautiful empire here before signing off for the video.
Another one.
We just destroyed so many armies. 18,000 men stack wipe there. You love to see that. Okay, Okay, so we finished the war with the Yemen, people from Yemen here. We have one tiny little peasant uprising in the capital for some reason. They're done too. And we're just missing one piece of land to be able to form the empire here of Abyssinia. So I guess we can just take this place. Should be pretty easy to do. Okay guys, there you go. We took that piece of land, so now we can create our empire. There we go. And look how beautiful that is. We have changed our friend's small Abyssinian kingdom to a beautiful, huge Abyssinian empire, now having 27,000 men. So you can see some of the strongest regions in the game, like Egypt or this former like Abbasid Empire here. They have a little bit more men than us, but like we saw in that war there, we have insane men at arms right now. You can see we actually fully maxed out all our men at arms. We actually have room for another one because we just became an emperor. So we could pick up another regiment of something. They're getting boosted pretty heavily. You can see like our crossbowmen are doing 125 damage. Our 700 horses are doing 269 damage. So you should have no problem now to just go around, you know, maybe invade this empire down here, invade this kingdom here. Even I think Egypt you'd be able to take on. If there's anything to take away from this game, guys, it's remember to always upgrade your castles, your temples, your buildings. Like that's where all your power is going to come from, is getting these things to the max tier they can go and then upgrading all the buildings in them, because that just gives you more money, which you can then pump into your men at arms to make them really strong and beefy. And when you have really strong men at arms, you could, like I had this game, you could see you can just take on armies 3-4 times your size without any problems at all. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Remember, you can send me your disaster save files to zieleysubmissions@gmail.com. Always looking for good files, save files to play, and I'll be seeing you in the next one, guys. Peace out.